Good evening. I'm gonna do some painting. As you guys know, if you watched last couple evenings, we know that we do World War II stuff at night. So that's at least the trend. Even though I'm almost done with this figure, worked on this guy today. He's just about done. It's only going to take mere moments, and he'll be complete. And then we'll go to this guy. This is going to have to wait until the morning session where we do the 15s, and I'm a little bit more refreshed. So, got a couple things that came in the mail today that I've been waiting on. And they weren't supposed to be in here till next week, but they actually made it quicker. The shipping assessment seemed like it was going to be farther in the distance than it was. It said it was going to be midweek, and not really sure why it said it was going to take that long, and it actually didn't. It only took a few days as it should. So, since I was working on these vehicles, one of the things that I was needing to get back into models was glues. Hooray! Get to paint when Tony paint. That sounds. I could do that in one of my accents. It'd be a lot funnier. Oh, hooray! We get to paint when Tony paint. Yeah, exactly. So I needed to replace my glue. This is a glue. This is for plastic models. It's called Microweld. It's made by Microscale Industries. It's a weld cement. And the cool thing about this stuff is you can just use. Thank you. You can just use a regular brush. It doesn't come with anything on there. And best of all, it smells kind of like oranges. It's supposedly non-toxic, even though here it says flammable. Hey, it's made in the USA. There's a step forward. Anyhow, so this is the stuff that I had for a long time. Environmentally safe, non-toxic, but it is flammable. Okay, so it probably has alcohol or something in it. I'm not sure exactly what's in this, but I had this. This is what I used to use when I used to do plastic models because it had no smell. Okay, and I need to do a glue review. I had bought this stuff as well at Hobby Lobby. They didn't have this. I had to eBay this product. This is what the tester cement looks like now. If you guys are old school like me, you remember that tester cement used to come in a flatter container. It was also clear, and it had the brush applicator as well. Boy, this one's, look, there's a shitty looking applicator. Look at that. But man, that stuff smells strong. I'm not used to that. It almost has a little bit of a smell like fingernail polish remover. This is what we used for a long time back in the 80s and stuff. And this is a product that apparently everybody's using now and didn't exist when I was doing models. But this is the Tamiya. I used to call it Tamiya. That's a Tamiya cement, and theirs is also a thin one as well. And this one smells kind of strong too. So I may be returning these two at Hobby Lobby and go back to this one. I just wanted to order them and make sure that I had them. I had something because we got some model kits that we need to put together down the line. So I did do some dumpster diving in my big pile of. Let's put these over here. Let's put the cements over here. All of these products are useless with these resin kits. This is just for plastic stuff. All of these, I did some diving in the big bin that I have of my 1/72nd scale vehicles, and see what I had because I needed to get some Russian stars, and I was really disappointed to find out that I did not have any decals for the Russians other than, where did it go? I had it right here. This little sheet right here. That's it, and no stars, and only one set of numerals. So looks like I'm going to have to forego it for the time being, which is really disappointing. And I may have to order some things online there to make the stars. But I did find that I had 2 packs of the American markings, which this is just a printout of what the different things they have on here. But this is the American markings they have. You can barely tell what they are, but not sure how good these are going to be. These are decal details, and they're at least 20 years old. I've had these for a long time. So anyhow, these are by I-94 Enterprises. So we have that, and I've got German markings out the wazoo, but we're not going to focus on the German vehicles first. Let's get the Russians done. And I did find also a BP cast model of a GAZ, or a GAZ 67 car. It's the Russian Jeep that they used. I don't believe they used it until like 1943. So it's a late war Jeep. So we're gonna be. I went ahead and mounted, super glued a screw on here. So we're gonna be painting it tonight. And I also wanted to show you guys this. Way back when at the toy store, I had picked up these models by Corgi. These are already pre-painted. They're just die-cast kits, and a lot of these die-cast things come in random scales, and these seemed really close to 1/72nd scale. And now they're already pre-built, which, perfect, because I just assume paint them. But these two are the same designation. I guess these have Marine Corps or something or another, and this one's U.S. Army. But we're going to repaint these and use them for American half tracks. Now we may end up leaving like the star on here. I'm not sure exactly what I'm going to do, but I do have plenty of decals for the Americans. But these are a couple of M3 half tracks, and they seem to be right about the correct scale. So anyhow, this is just a model kit. I think these things were like $4 or something. Really affordable. So this is something that we can get into later. But right now I want to just knock out my Russian stuff, especially since I got like that green thing going. So we're going to be doing some tanks right now in the evening, and focusing on the Russians. Now, the one thing I also was waiting to get in the mail, I did get it, was this 2-pack here of the Micro Sol and the Micro Set. One of them is you use it to take the decal off. You could use water as well, but this stuff supposedly allows it to adhere to the surface a lot better. It avoids silvering, and then both of these get used together. So I have them as well. And unfortunately, I don't have any decals for the Russians to put them on there. So I've got some numbers here. This is, I think, from a T-34 set that I have. But I don't know. I was looking on eBay to see if there's some more things. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and I built a little machine gun from sprue. Cut a little piece of sprue, and you guys know how to do that, right? Come on, that's Modelers 101. You take a piece of sprue, which is extras that you left on here from the skeleton. You light a lighter or something like that, so this kind of starts to catch fire or soften, and then you pull it apart. And when you're done with it, you're left with a piece of really stretched, thin plastic that you can use for antennas. You could use one end of it, which is what I did, and you put the little machine gun thing on here. So really useful stuff. You guys know that. Come on, that's basic stuff, right? We're gonna keep this. We're gonna keep that bag because there's a receipt in there. I may end up returning those other 2 glues, because the thing with painting acrylics for so long is I'm used to things that don't smell, and to go back to using a glue like the Tamiya glue or something like that that's going to have a really strong smell is just something I'm not used to, Anyhow, so what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and seal these guys. We're going to use our water-based products. Okay, I don't want to go and spray these guys outside. let's see. Let me get to where. There we go. 2 water-based products. This is the gloss, and then this is the flat. And we're just going to brush this stuff on. Assuming I was able to open this one. Yeah. This is the thing about testers' bottles. Their sealing system, their closing system really sucks. Okay. We're actually going to test this a little bit. Let's get a rather large brush. And we're going to apply that. We're going to apply that with this. Yeah, something pretty big like this. All right. And I'm kind of having second thoughts of this. You know what? Let's stop right here. Let's punt. Let's put some here on the bottom, and we'll come back to this. Let's not undo the whole thing. Maybe I should have just taken it out there and sprayed. I just lazy. I didn't want to go outside. All right, let's move on to the Gaz 67. We'll leave these things here. I know I've used the flat one. The gloss one I haven't used in a long time. It may be bad. It's just behaving oddly. We'll make sure that's not the case. Okay. All right, here's the Gaz 67. If you guys watched any of my stuff, you don't mind it. All my stuff is unscripted. You can see mistakes happen, and you can see how I have to deal with them. So it is what it is. Let's go over this end and get my Russian green out. It should be accessible towards the top here. It's probably this one right here. Yep. Here it is. And this is also a BP cast model, and it is very, very crude. So this is the last crude Russian thing I have. The other stuff are better quality. So let's get some of this down. Russian green. I don't know, anybody do live model building models live? Maybe that's something we could do too, but we're going to see what we can get done in the evening. Because come tomorrow morning, we won't be working on this stuff. We'll be going back to the 15s. Keep them both going. And on one hand, I could sit and say, I'm going to go ahead and work on the 15s at night as well. But I'm too tired for that. I'm kind of using this as my creativity and doing something a little different. So let's kind of do like a wet dry brush on here of this stuff. I'm testing this method on the crappier vehicles, and then we'll go and do the ones that are more precise. But we got to build some of them. So I went in and I went into my bag of tricks, models that I've had for a long time. I sold a few of them unbuilt, and then I kept a few. And what else do I have for the Russians? I have a pair of T-34s to build. I have a couple of T-34s by Eschi, Italian company. And I've got, what else do I have that's Russian? I've got a JSU 2 by BP Cast. It's kind of crummy as well. I have a JSU 152/122. I could build either one. That is made by some Russian company. What else do I have that's Russians? Obviously the stuff you guys saw here painted. I don't have any KVs or anything because my buddy Jeff was the one that was focusing on the Russian stuff. So he already had most of the Russian things. I just had a couple odds and ends that I had picked up at a show. So unfortunately, the T-34s that I have are a little bit later than I would have liked. I got a couple of T-34-85s, which I think are painted. I'm going to retrofit that. So a couple T-34-85s, a couple T-34-76s that are the later versions. Like they used them in late 43 onwards. They have the hexagonal turret and they've got a commander's cupola. That didn't start getting into service until after Kursk in late 43. So I have those to build. I got that JSU. Do I have anything else Russian? I don't think so. I got a slew of Germans. A slew. Just a bunch. I got a couple long-barreled Panzer IIIs. I got a couple long-barreled Panzer IVs. I got a short-barreled Panzer IV. I got 4Hs. I got a couple of Panzer IIs. I even have a Panzer I. I don't know why, but I'm not planning on doing the 1940 stuff. What else? I got half tracks galore of different manufacturers, so. But all this stuff is 20 years old or older, so. It's not the best quality by today's standards, but they'll work for war games models. And that's what we're doing here after all. We're not going to win any IPMS tournaments, shows. Americans, I got several Shermans. I got those 3 half tracks you guys just saw. I've got what else do I have for Americans? Yeah, we'll get to it. I'm not going to hop around though. We're gonna do all the Russian stuff first. So just kind of having fun with this. All right, let's go ahead and have more of this natural color. And we're going to do all this stuff without an airbrush. Not because I hate airbrushes, I just don't have one. I don't feel like spending hundreds of dollars or working on the skills to try to be good at one. So we have a limited amount of time, so you can't spend it on everything, and I just choose to not be frustrated by a 3D printer. I'm not falling for that one, so. All right, let's bring another layer up here. Yeah, at these points, like these kits, I'm gonna experiment painting them and just kind of work out how this stuff is gonna look, or I'm gonna throw them away because nobody's gonna want to buy these. They're very primitive by today's standard, and you know, you've got to. Nobody's gonna pay for shipping. Shipping's getting more and more expensive each day. So, all right, let's take some of this and lighten up certain areas. But no Little Russian red stars, so I'm not sure what I'm going to do. I'm going to probably not going to let that slow me down. I'm just going to move forward, and I can put them on later if I need to. We need to get more of that ochre color. Yeah, we need more ochre than that. It's soaking up this paint. There we go. And like I mentioned the other day, I'm not really interested in painting these realistic. I want them to have a little bit of a graphic novel, cartoony look. You guys know what I'm talking about. Anyhow, we're gonna leave the seats because I've seen pictures of this and it's like got like brown leather colored seats in one of the examples that I saw, and I thought that it looked fitting. No coffee at this time. I'll end up being up all night. Up all night with Tony. And we're going to do some weathering on it, but we're not going to do weathering on this until all the sealing's done on it. So a little bit further along, we will do that. Just do a little bit of highlighting here. Now, I was kind of disappointed looking through some of my figures and stuff. I didn't have any Russian tank commanders that I thought I did. So if I do any tanks with an open hatch, I'm going to need to get some tank commanders. I don't like to use the plastic figures that come with the kits. They tend to be, well, the 20 millimeter figures that I use, they tend to be almost a heroic scale. They're like 1/72nd scale heroic. So the actual plastic figures are very not very big in life. So okay, that's let's do the bumper, and then we're about ready to move on from this. Okay. Everybody quiet this evening. All right. Let's get some water. I'll be right back. Yeah, this little guy doesn't take much longer to get all highlighted done. Okay. Du-du-du-du. Crossing Obstacles Gaming. Nice. Thanks for joining us. Cool name. Cool logo, too. I like that. It's like a poker chipper. Something like that. Some kind of a glyph. What gaming system are you planning to use? Aha. Congratulations, the most answered question, the most asked question. So I have a gaming system that I use that just about nobody uses it. First of all, it's out of print. And I don't know how long it's been out of print for because I've been out of the World War II scene for many years, for 20 years or so. It's a set of rules that came out in the early 2000s, maybe 2004, something like that. It's called the Face of Battle. It is a skirmish level rule set that is pretty detailed. You don't run like a command of a company or anything like that. You're pretty busy with a squad or half a squad. So vehicles are few and far between. These vehicles aren't to use all in a battle at the same time. They would just be at different options. I've had these vehicles for like 20 years and just wanted to do something different. I'm finding that the evenings I was getting pretty bored and going to bed early. So instead of going to bed early, I'm having these vehicles keep me up late. So, but people are really particular about World War II rule sets, and I'm really one of them. And I won't play World War II unless the rules are a certain way for me. I'm very particular when it comes to that. I want them filled with all kinds of good details and that. So I'm not a flames of war type of guy. So, but that's why there's so many different set of rules. But Face of Battle is what I used way back when. It's not really suited for convention play because in 4 hours you're not going to get it. You're not going to finish an engagement. So my second favorite rule set is one that came out a few years ago by Red Star. Why do I keep calling it Red Star? Red North, something North. North Star is published by North Star. It's called Normandy Firefight. And that one's even a little bit more zoomed in than the Face of Battle, but it has no rules for vehicles at all, of any kind. So, vehicles don't have to be in every battle, but it's nice to have the option to do them. So, anyhow, I haven't played the rules in 20 years, so I would, if I was gonna play it again, I'd need to create little cheat sheets and stuff so I don't bog the whole game out. But I don't know if I'm gonna get back to playing it, but this is just something to do. World War II is kind of the first period I was really interested in as a teenager, and that's all we used to game is World War II. So didn't start on the ancients and medievals until 2004, but before that, all of my gaming was pretty much all World War II. So I know lots of people are like, hey, you need to try rapid fire, or you need to try this, or you need to try that. I've played several game systems. I played rapid fire. They all just left something lacking. I'm not interested in playing the operational scale stuff like command decision, the 1 to 5 scaled stuff like Spearhead Command Decision. I think Rapid Fire is the same scale. I've done it. I've done lots of it, and I don't. I'm not interested I'm not interested in the decisions that I need to make at that level of command. Let's put it that way. So you play Battle Group, which is a bit larger scale than that. Then yes, Battle Group is isn't that kind of like Chain of Command? Chain of Command's not bad either, but I like more details. I like to simulate the room to room fighting and stuff like that. So, but that's just me. If you guys like this, do something else. I'm not keeping you from it, but I'm. It's funny because my ancients and medieval rule set DBA is anything but what I just described. It's vague at times and abstract, and it's not very specific. This is a percentile based game, and you know, but you can't play it in an evening and be done with it. So they each have their advantages and disadvantages. Right now, I'm just painting vehicles that I've had for 20 years, and they've just been sitting here. I could say collecting dust, but they were tucked away, so. I do want to buy some more, but I will not let myself buy more until I make a dent or kill out just about all these. I've proven myself that I can avoid buying more things. But this is just kind of a welcome thing to paint, something a little different in the evenings. Well, you find a system you like and you go with that. Yes, basically, and scales and chain of command. I've heard about Battle Group. Battle Group's one of those rule sets that, if I'm correct, the rule sets the book is too nice to use. And what I mean by that is in the process of using it, it's a hardback type book. It'll end up getting damaged. I don't like that. I'm really respectful of my books. So the one I use, I mean, that's not a reason why I wouldn't use it. It just came on the scene after these other things were out. But you also have to play whatever people are playing in your area. If everybody's playing Flames of War, you kind of have to do the same thing, or you're going to be supplying everything for everyone. So, but yeah, I got out of the World War II scene for about 20 years. About 20 years, yeah, from 2004. No, maybe it's just like 16 years. And so many things have changed. Manufacturers that used to make stuff don't make it anymore. Rules I used are out of print. You know. Okay. Well, I've got see if I remember the color I was going to use for the windows here. I have a picture of it, but of course it's on my phone. I'm filming with the phone, so wish me luck. It was like a dark blue type of. They have a softback rule book now. Okay. Yeah, I have no problem with a hard book. I don't like the idea of a really nice rule book, like say Force on Force. Force on Force rule book is beautiful, but I don't want to use it in the game because it's going to get like messed up. I don't know. I'm one of the, I don't like books being trashed in the process of using them, even when you're careful. Geez, there's a lot of this. I didn't want to get to the point where I was going to put a stainless steel mixing bowl in here, but I may have to do that. I don't know if I've ever used this color. There we go. That's better. I got a whole bunch of colors that I've never used before. I know for a fact. Yeah, there we go. You're contemplating buying Force on Force and 12mm stuff that needs to get onto the gaming table. I don't know that I like the rule set. There, I said it. Watch yourself some videos of people playing it. It's very unusual. Um, I'm not sure I like it. It's not really well organized, a really hard time getting things up off the ground because of the sequence order of doing different phases in a turn. And I think it's still out of print. I think Force on Force is out of print. Yeah, I got the rules in a couple of the add-on books. All right, I'm going to see if I can get away with doing this and not disconnecting the phone. So hopefully I can do this that I'm going to do. Let's see if I, maybe I can't, maybe I can't. Hold on a second. Let's go. Oh, I was able to, huh. I'm not sure what you guys experienced, but I was able to take a look at a picture and then come back in here. I don't know if you guys even saw that or it just froze for you guys, but I took a look at the picture that I needed to look at for the mirror for the windscreen. This is an extremely crude model, extremely crude. So that was actually one of the reasons why I went with this particular model was I'm just experimenting with doing some vehicle painting without using an airbrush. I don't have one, and I really don't think I want to buy one. So I don't want the troubles that come with one. Just a little. You can see this thing's got lumps and things in the resin. This is not the best thing at all. All right, let's paint some leather seats, or at least brown. I've seen somebody's picture of this painted, and they had like the little seat covers in. Be able to. Let's use this one. Let's see what this is like. That's red leather, but I think it's a little too red. We're gonna mix some black in with this anyways, but Yeah, I got a slew of this 20 millimeter stuff to do. So maybe we'll knock out some of it at night. My excuse to be creative a little bit. Well, I like this color here. I like that color. I don't know how much longer I'm going to be able to stay up. I'm fading pretty fast, so maybe we can get all the little knickknacks done on this vehicle and then call it a night, because I'll be up again at early morning to do a paint session. We'll roll into the 15s, but I wanted to. I found this little guy last night. I'm sorry, today, and going through all my stuff I've had for 20 years, I noticed that this thing had been started as well. I got a lot of I got a lot of things that I've started and just never finished. So I'm gonna try to work through that pile of things. Let's paint these little Panzer III tires. Another color that I left out handy here. And just gonna use the dark gray here. All right. And then of course we're gonna weather all this gently. Had that stuff I put on here, look. Oh, it's glossy as shit. It's really glossy. It looked like it rained on it or something. We're going to, we'll spray that tomorrow. I don't think I want to do hand paint that. That's just too big of an area. It's not very good use of my time. Okay. Here's the little tires on here. It's a very basic paint job, but I think we're going to call it a night because I am fading fast. So, we'll be back in the morning at somewhere around 6 a.m. Eastern Time, and we'll go back to doing the 15 millimeter figures for my Hungarian army. Okay, folks. Well, you have a good evening, and we'll catch you guys later.